Hello and welcome to another episode of Bike Social Full Chat. I'm Michael Mann and we're reporting from South Africa at the beautiful Kalami circuit, where thankfully the sun is shining for once on one of these launches in 2018. Now, we're guests of Pirelli and they have introduced their brand new tyre for this year. It's the Diablo Rosso Corsa 2, which is slightly less sporty than a Super Corsa, but it's still designed for track use and road use alike. So there are many, many benefits. There are many, many changes. It's a brand new product. It's in dealerships right now, and for a set, you're looking at about £280 for a front and a rear. Now, joining me is Piero Messano. Piero, welcome to Bike Social. Thank you very much for joining us. Piero is the head of motorcycles for Pirelli, and well, it's probably easy if I pass you the microphone, Piero.
Thank you.
I'd like to just talk about the product itself. Firstly, why did you feel it necessary to introduce something like this, and where we've listened to the presentation already. There are so many benefits and new parts to it. Could you please explain each of them?
Okay, sure. Hi everybody. Hi to Bike Social friends. We will try to let's have a chat about what we have seen in the presentation. So it was a hard task for us 8 years after to create a new successor of the very, very, very successful Rosso Corsa. Of course, in these years, many things has happened. The world of tires has developed dramatically in performance, both on road and on the circuit as well. So we had really to make a big step ahead. The idea was, as you mentioned, to provide to the customer always the best he needs. So if you are a fan of the track, for sure you will go for a Super Corsa. There is no doubt. If you are somebody who is interested mainly in road, you will go, as you mentioned, on a Rosso 3. Here is something for those people who want to be as fast as possible on a track, and so no compromise on a track, but still they want to use the tire on their bike each day on a road. So to match the confidence on the road, basically in any condition, especially in wet conditions, for example, with unpredicted grip and fun on the track.
So this is a step up from Diablo Rosso 3, Diablo Corsa 3. In terms of its sporty nature, right? So it has this slick edge, which is one of, I guess, the main benefits for the new tire.
Sure. This is a big step ahead, of course, versus a super sport tire. It really gets very close to what is our Super Corsa now. And to get that close, but to keep also the road performances and the road confidence we want to have, we had to develop really something new. The new concept behind this is basically the fact of using 3 different compounds in a 5-zone scheme on the rear and 2 different compounds on a 3-zone scheme on the front. Really to have in any single riding condition always the best. Maybe we can go a little bit in the detail of it. Let's start from the lean, because we say in the claim we have follow your leans, because we love leaning, we all of us. Start from the lean. In the full lean angle, basically you expect to be on a track mainly, or you expect to be on a road, but with the sunshine like today. So we decided to go for a compound strictly coming from the world of superbike. So it's a superbike compound, full carbon black compound. Mm-hmm. When you stand up a little bit and you get to the intermediate range, which is basically this one, it's very likely you will be enjoying this not only on track, so it must be good on a track with good consistency of performance on a track, but must also add some road characteristics, like the wet performance that may be needed in UK, also in Italy, because we are getting some bad weather also in Italy recently. So you have to have the full confidence, safety, enjoyment also in the wet. And then you get to the center. Mm-hmm. So here it was 100% silica compound. Now we come to the center, where basically we have the best compound for what is mileage, for what is still the wet and the traction on the straight, which is a mixture of a 70% silica compound and 30% carbon black. Mm-hmm.
You almost answered one of my questions as well about the influence that your association through World Superbike has on specifically this shoulder part, the slick. You call it carbon black. That's been a development through the riders in World Superbike, hasn't it?
Yeah, sure. As you may know our philosophy is really to start from Superbike to develop tires that are available to everybody. Also, the Superbike tires are available because if you want, you can buy a slick tire that is basically the same tire that has been used in Superbike championships the year before. So a constant development. But not only that, when you get to a Super Corsa, you know we use the Super Corsa also in the World Superbike Series, in the Supersport, for example, and also from there we derive the compound that you can buy in a normal shop. This is really a development that has been made in the Superbike. So really, this compound has been tested by especially Supersport and Superbike riders. Then what we had to do, the biggest challenge, was to develop a full silica compound that could work on the road, especially in cold condition, in wet condition, but had to work perfectly on the track. And let me say, the big development we made was indeed in this compound, to match it also from the dynamic properties, from the heat generation with a typical racing compound. And so the trick is behind this 100% silica with some, let's say, blending with typical ingredients that help the grip mechanism, like the resins, like other chemical agents, and let them work together in order to have a perfect transition between 100% silica, 100% Campo Black. That was not that easy to achieve at the beginning.
The idea primarily is to have faith in the tyre, both for its stability on the road and the dry, but also the wet at lean angle even. But then equally you come to the track, or even if you're, let's say, attacking the private roads away from the track, then you've got the confidence with the edge grip as well. So what's interesting for me is that I've been on the circuit already 2 sessions. The bike I was using in the second session has had 4 sessions on the same tyre. And what has impressed me, 2 parts. One, how fast the tyre warms, how quickly it gets up to temperature, and you can put faith in turning it in, but also using the accelerator quickly. And I'll come on to bike electronics in just a second, but the second thing that impressed me as well is I tend to chew a lot of rear tyres. I'm fairly aggressive, certainly coming out of a corner, and even after 4 sessions on that one tyre, the thing was not perfectly intact, but it was wearing so well. So only time will tell, of course, when we try and test it in the UK and put more miles on about its longevity. What I would like to ask as well is about the future development of pretty much all tyres, all rubber. And with the influence and the higher power, the higher torque that are coming from motorcycles, the electronic ability, the rider aids, is this something that you're very aware of in your research and development about how to maintain a motorcycle's power and give it its optimum performance?
Yeah, for sure. The first thing I will try to answer, You stated that you were impressed by the quick warm-up. On such a tire, you have also to speak about something more than a quick warm-up. You have to speak about the capability to give the maximum at any temperature condition. So if you go to a Super Corsa or if you go to a specialized tire for the track, it's really a matter of warm-up. But when you go to a tire that is minded also for the road, you cannot warm up a tire on the road because there will be a straight, because there will be traffic lights and whatever. So the application range is very wide with this. So one of the features is that it's a tire that almost does not require warm-up, and I appreciate you experienced it. The second point about electronics, we are used already since a few years on the development of electronics. If in the tire the biggest development is in material, so you understand the new silica properties. In bikes, electronics has become really the key for the future development. For sure, we work a lot with our OE manufacturers in strict connection with them to tune the characteristic of the tire. Somebody could think that to provide a better ABS braking or to provide a better traction, it's a matter of providing more grip. From some point of view, it's true, of course, because grip is important. But not only that, the construction, the way with its own responses through the carcass, a tire reacts to the electronic. the easiest way is to explain with the ABS. If you have an ABS braking, it's a sort of on-off. It's a step response, open, close the brakes. So the tire has to provide also sort of clutch effect to avoid having steps between what is the asphalt and the wheel that transmits then to the full bike. So in this way, the tire has not only to provide a grip, but also to act as a little bit as a clutch. Think about if you give too much torque, the tire starts to slip. If you give too much torque while the ABS recloses the brakes, then it will slip again, and so it will be a continuous slick effect. So it has also to provide a sort of clutch. And for this, it's not only a matter of grip, but also a matter of carcass stiffness and torsional stiffness mainly.
Fantastic! What a great insight. Thank you so much for joining us, Piero. It's been a pleasure.
You.
Look, you can watch the next Bike Social Full Chat episode, so stay tuned for that. Thank you once again, Piero. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.